What's going on, boys? I am back. Okay, with another. Sorry, sorry. I'm back with another London session. Okay, I'm back with another London session trade. Let me hold on, guys. Let me do some analysis, then I will get back to you guys as soon as possible. Okay, what's up, guys? I'm back with another London session right now. So right now I'm back with another London session, as you guys can see. Okay, so I am trading the Euro USD. Like I said, I don't trade NES no longer. Okay, even though I think NES looks like a crazy buy side right now, in my opinion. So, but I'm not trading it currently at the moment. Okay. Yeah. So yes, I am going to be looking at dollar Euro USD. So right now I'm actually looking for buy opportunities. So so I don't see any SMT here. Okay, that's number one. Number two, right now why am I not taking into this trade? Well, I did wanted to look for a long position here. Okay, however, I didn't get the opportunity to get for a long. Reason is purely, actually this 4 minute here would look kind of nice. I think this 4 minute and 5 minute, but I don't like to trade 4 and 5 minutes honestly. But so I was actually looking at this long setup here. Okay, so reason why I wouldn't mind looking for this long setup is because price actually set this low right here. Okay, liquidity sweep. Okay, then after that it made a nice reversal here. Okay, but I didn't take a trade because I wasn't in that 3 p.m. range. Okay, so but it was a nice reversal. However, price actually then came down, swept back this liquidity again. As you guys can see, it swept back this liquidity, inverse this bullish fair value gap right here. However, bearish fair value gap. However, it was actually tapping into this bearish fair value gap here, as you guys can see. And I don't trade into a bearish fair value gap. If this bullish fair value gap were to close maybe halfway through here, I wouldn't mind looking for a long setup. At least I have some room to move up higher, in my opinion. Okay, but however, it didn't give me a nice entry, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna take that trade. I'm not gonna force that trade, because even if this fair value gap were to hold, right, it could have easily reversed and then stop me out there. So that doesn't essentially mean that just because you inverse the first one, it means that you inverse the second one. So next for me, I wouldn't mind looking for a long entry on this 4-minute bearish fair value gap here, which is clearly single. It inverse, okay, the macro low, okay, inverse macro low, at the same time inverse lower this liquidity here, which was actually last week's, which was what I was targeting. I took this, so last week I actually took a short here. I mean, I spotted on the Telegram. I took this short here. I took a 1:1, and then after I looked at break even. Then I was looking for this to sweep this liquidity, this expansion macro liquidity, intern liquidity, but I didn't sweep. Then today actually it did sweep into this macro liquidity here, right here. Then after that, once it swept it, okay, it made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candlestick and inversing that bearish fair value gap. So I wouldn't mind looking for a long position, maybe if price were to close above here, then maybe target a 1:2. Okay, however, I'm not necessarily taking this trade here because in my personal opinion, and when I back tested, I don't really like to take through like 4 minutes, 5 minutes bearish fair value gaps getting inverse. So you can see this 5 minutes getting inverse here. Okay, however, I don't really like to trade off based on 5 minutes. So if I do want to add a position here, let's say for example I add this position right now, my stop loss will be like somewhere here. So I don't really like it. It's way too big in my personal opinion. It definitely can be better, but I just don't feel comfortable working, I don't feel comfortable working with 5 minutes in my opinion. I just personally feel that 5 minutes fair value gaps is just way too big in my opinion. So that's why I'm not taking this trade. 4 or 5, I prefer to only trade the 3 and 2 and 1 minute. So right now I have so right now I'm waiting. So I wouldn't mind if price actually were to drop back down here again to sweep this low, which was actually last week's Friday's London session low. So I wouldn't mind looking for that low as well, but of course I don't anticipate. Okay, the draw on liquidity in my opinion is definitely towards the highs here, because that was what it was left. And if you can see clearly, there is actually not really actually. Okay, so that's my personal opinion here, that how I personally feel that the draw on liquidity is towards the upside. Okay, the draw on liquidity is towards the upside as well. So let's just wait and see what price action does here. I'm not taking any trades. I want to look for a pullback here. If price actually does a pullback here, I wouldn't mind looking for a long setup. Okay, maybe price pull back into this range, 50% retracement. Okay, maybe price pulls it back into a 50% retracement here within this zone here. Then after that, then have a bearish fair value gap, it versus it, I'll take a long setup all the way, driving it higher. However, if price actually comes back down, sweeping this last week's London low, okay, then I wouldn't mind also looking for a long setup. For now, I'm not looking for a long setup. I will just wait and chill and see what price action gives me. Am I upset that I missed this trade? No, not exactly. I'm not upset at all. Even if 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time frame it inverses, right? Well, it doesn't really affect me anymore, because, well, if price wants to move higher here, sure, I'm just gonna let price move. I'm not going to be like all emotional, oh my god, price fly without me and stuff. If what I've learned is that as much as price just does what it wants to do. You can't control what price action does. We as traders, we just have to react based on what we see, and we can't predict. I can't predict that the market is gonna fly here. I can't predict the market is gonna dump here. I'm not gonna predict all this kind of thing. I'm just gonna see what I can react. And for me, my reaction is two. Okay, the first reaction is if price were to come back down, okay, to the 50% retracement here, okay, within these two bullish fair value gap, maybe inverse a bearish fair value gap, okay, I will look for a long setup. Reason being is pretty much simple, because in my opinion, the downside potential is very, very low, because it already swept this internal liquidity. Okay, at the same time, it just swept internal liquidity here, and I wouldn't, and to me, my opinion is that, okay, maybe price is going towards the highs, and price is also at the same time is within a 5 minute bearish fair value gap. Sorry, 4, 3, 2, 15 and 30 minutes bullish fair value gap. So what does that tell us? It tells us that, okay, maybe there is a potential for a long setup. Okay, maybe price will want to push off this higher here since you already set some form of internal liquidity. So why not look for some sort of long setup here? Okay, not only that, if but however, if price, let's say for example, doesn't retrace into 50% here, dumps down, I wanted to see whether can it sweep this London low. Okay, then after that I want to see if price, if once it sweeps the London low, right, maybe just a tad bit, maybe, right, that we can actually sort of see, or I can sort of see what a reaction that price action will have. Then I will look for a setup. Okay, I don't instantly take setups, I just wait for the setup. If price gives me, then I'll take it. If price doesn't give me, then of course I will take it, you know. It's just as simple as that, and that's how I react based on what price action gives me. Okay, so right now I'm just waiting and seeing what price action does. I'm not, like I said, I tell you guys really, it's that sense that I don't really care what price action does here. If price action dumps here, then just let it dump, you know. I don't really care. Does it matter to me? No, it doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, right now price is actually reacting off this 1 minute bearish fair value gap here. So right now this 5 minutes doesn't seem to be holding. That's why I don't trade the 5 minute, guys. So for me, the 5 minutes is just way too big. It's very tough to see like how would price react off the base of the zones as well. Okay, so just my opinion, guys. Okay, this is all just my opinion. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna wait. Not gonna do anything but wait. Okay, euro is currently falling. So I do want to see if, let me take a look. If this 1 minute bearish fair value has inverse, I would take it. Let me take a look at the dollar right now. That's why I don't trade the 5 minutes, guys. So, yeah. But also because price also set this high here, that's why it got and then it went back down. So Okay, boys, I'm in a buy right now. Okay. Give me a second, Okay, so right now I'm in a buy position. Let me just edit my positions. Okay, right now I'm in a buy. So reason why I actually took this buy trade was that okay, 1 minute time frame here. Okay, so okay, I will say it's a bit on the riskier side. Okay, so why I would say it's on the risk. Okay, so why would I say this is a riskier side, right? Okay, so because if you look closely, price didn't inverse any sweep any sort of internal liquidity before it actually pushed. I would want to push it higher. However, for me, I felt that I wouldn't mind looking for a trade because price already set this liquidity here, macro low at the same time. Okay, at the same time. Okay, sorry. Okay, at the same time, if set macro and land and what's it called? What's it called? Shit, I'm so sorry, I forgot. London low. Sorry, Asian low and at the same time macro low. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll give this a try for a long side. Price actually set this liquidity here, which is last week's macro low as well. Okay, so then I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe give this a try. Price is on a higher time frame, bullish fair value gap and everything. So 432, 30, 15 minutes and 5 minutes bullish fair value gap, as you guys can see. It's within this zone here, so it hasn't exactly pushed bearish yet. So I was like, okay, you know what? 4 minutes bullish fair value gap as well. So I was like, you know what? Give this a try as a bullish form. Then I was looking for a long setup over here. I was looking for a bullish setup here, but it didn't happen. So then after that, so it looks like price is actually dropping here. So when I saw price came back down, I saw it inverse 1 minute bearish fair value gap here and here, as you guys can see. So then I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe give this a try as a bullish setup. Price rebounding off the Asian lows, and as you know, or as we know, okay, as for me, I feel that as I know, Asian lows tends to be sort of a support. Okay, so that essentially, in my opinion, sense that like, hey, you know, price could be bullish here. So in my opinion, I was like, okay, maybe price could essentially be bullish here, so why not give this a try? Okay, not because it already swept liquidity. I don't, not say I don't expect, okay, price could continue push lower here, sure. Okay, so it's definitely 100% doable, being a push higher, being a push lower here also. However, I saw that these two get inversed, and almost immediately getting inversed with very strong bullish momentum. I was like, okay, you know what, give this a try. Price wasn't respecting any form of bearish fair value gap here, even on the 4, okay, 5 or whatsoever. So I was like, okay, there is a form of, and then it didn't even tap this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Not only that, it didn't tap this 2 minute bearish fair value gap as well. I was like, okay, you know what, give this a try. Because it didn't tap into any bearish fair value gap, so it didn't react off based on any time of higher time intermediate lows or like fair value gaps and stuff lah. So I was like, okay, you know what, let's give this a try. My stop loss will be a swing below this low, as you guys can see. So my stops are in place already. So if it stops me out here, then sure. So yeah, I mean, we are in a PD, we're in discount because price really set this high, and I feel that with this, with this huge, there's this liquidity to is more, I feel is towards the high side because it hasn't swept this last week's, this high right here, which it missed, then it stopped falling. So let's just wait and see what price action does here. If I get stopped out here, it's fine. I will look for another long setup here, but so yeah, can't really, not really say upset about this trade. I think it's an alright trade, but there is an SMT here as well. There is an SMT here as well. So let's wait and see. I already my stop loss in place. If I do lose this trade, sure. So I feel like the only downside to this trade, so I would say that this is an A plus trade, or like a very awesome trade or whatsoever. Reason being is because number one, technicals. Okay, looks like I'm gonna get stopped out here, boys. So technicals are more or less that is towards the bearish side. Fundamentals also towards the bearish side. Okay, then additionally, price didn't sweep any form of I would say internal liquidity before I would expect it to push higher here. So what do I mean by sweep internal liquidity? So in a sense, that what I mean by like sweeping some form of internal liquidity, right, would be that like it didn't sweep this low, it didn't sweep Asian lows, it didn't sweep New York lows or whatsoever kind of liquidity. However, in my opinion, when I look and I backtest and stuff, right, if price already set the low or like a low, of any form, right, price won't usually tend to go back towards that low. Tens, like I said, I say 10, I never say 100%. Okay, sometimes price does, okay, it does go back to the low. In this case, it did go back to the low. So it doesn't essentially mean like 100% that price will confirm guarantee plus chop go higher. Okay, no, it's not. Price does what it wants to do. Maybe in a sense that right now, in my opinion here, maybe price I'm missing out something here that price may want to continue pushing lower, and we have to respect that in the market. So in a sense, even though I personally feel that the draw on liquidity is definitely towards the high side here, there's all this chop here. So but market does what it wants to do. I can't, I followed my trading plan. I saw this very nice bullish push above these two bearish fair value gap here with almost instant. So I was like, you know what, a price hasn't even tapped this. Okay, I got stopped out here, guys. So I'll still look for a long setup here. Maybe this bearish fair value gap here. Okay, I'm not taking this trade here, even though it inversely is 1 minute, because right now we are trading into a 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, and potentially into a 5 minute. So I'm just gonna wait to see what price action does here. Hopefully it does a pullback. Then maybe I'll look for, I will then see what price action does. If price flies up here, then sure, it doesn't really matter to me, because I'm not taking a buy into I'm not taking a buy trade into a bearish fair value gap. So yeah, it's too risky in my opinion. So not really not really interested in that. So like I said, for me now, I think I'm just gonna chill and wait and see what price action does here. If price wants to continue flying here or not, I don't know. Okay, just let us see and wait and see. Okay, so like I said, this trade here for me, I feel that it was a nice trade. I didn't think that it was terrible in any way. So I think it's fine. Do I regret taking that trade? Honestly, no, I don't think I would regret it. Maybe what I could improve on, in my personal opinion, is wait for a more internal liquidity sweep. Much more internal liquidity sweep. However, I feel that, like I said, I don't regret taking this trade. I think this trade was overall an okay trade. Maybe, in my opinion, was a setup trade, because the only downside, there's two downside to it. Is number one, there wasn't any internal liquidity sweep. So what do I mean by any internal liquidity sweep? This trade here didn't sweep any form of like internal liquidity, whether is it the low or anything. And additionally, okay, it fundamentally and technical, it is bearish here, so that's why I will personally say that maybe that's why it didn't work. But of course, ultimately at the end of the day, right, it doesn't matter. Okay, what the price does is we just have to wait and see what react based off we see. I mean, react what based on what we see. So like in this case here, I'm just reacting on based on what I see, and I'm just going to chill and wait and see what I can get a better setup or not. Okay. looks like Euro is flying currently. Am I upset a bit that I never take this trade? No, not really. Like I said, I don't really care. Let's just wait and see. Let's see whether can I get a pullback. If not, then I'm not gonna take this trade. Just gonna miss out on today's trade. So
Looks like Euro is flying here.
Euro is flying, guys, but not doing anything. Just waiting, just waiting.
line here, guys. But not taking a trade. No, sorry, it's actually falling here. But like I said, not taking any trade here. I'm just gonna be waiting. Okay, no setup here yet, boys. can't take this trade, so I'm just currently waiting to see what price action does here. Just now, if maybe this was a fair value gap here, I would have taken it, but for now, I'm not taking. I never take it, so I'm not in any trades current moment. Yeah, I didn't take this trade here. I did want to take it, but I was like, I didn't felt like it was an A plus setup here. Okay, because it didn't set any internal liquidity. It was kind of far out already. So I was like, you know what? Not really looking for a trade there. I was like, fine. So just gonna be waiting and see what price action does here. There's SMT here as well in terms of the dollar. Yo boy, so I missed this trade here. I was backtesting and I missed it. It's gonna be a nice trade. Buy because price bounced off higher time frame. 2 minute very instant reversal of this time frame, 2 minute bearish fair value gap. Then after that, yeah. So, but the only downside to that trade, if I were to take it, is that there isn't any internal liquidity sweep. But looking from this trade here, right, I personally feel that you have a very there's pretty much uh there's pretty much uh there's pretty much, in my opinion, bullish momentum here already. So in my opinion so but it wasn't, I would honestly say, if I were to take this trade here, I wouldn't say that it's like a very A plus C setup or whatsoever. I feel that you're more towards like a B setup, because you're already in between this range and stuff. So that's my opinion. Excuse me. So how could I capitalize on this trade here, right? If you guys ask me, honestly, there is nothing that I could have done in this, my opinion here. Because, so why would I say that? Because when you look at these trades, right, that I took, so I don't trade 5 minutes, that's for sure, number one. So this would have been a trade that you guys could have taken, but I didn't take it because I don't trade 5 minutes. Because if I trade 5 minutes, this 5 minutes would have failed, and then this 5 minutes would have passed. So I just felt that 5 minutes doesn't really go along with my trading setups and stuff. So that's why I don't trade 5 minutes from now on. So secondly, is that 5 minutes, we were trading into this 5 minutes bearish fair value gap here. So essentially, I was trading into this 5 minutes bearish fair value gap here. Okay, so this was the 5 minute bearish fair value gap here. So when price actually sort of moved so high up here, like here, this zone here, right, when I was buying here, right, I was sort of in a sense trading into a 5-minute bearish fair gap. Not only that, I was actually trading into a 2-minute bearish fair value gap, 3-minute bearish fair value gap, at the same time a 4-minute bearish fair value gap. So for me to actually take this trade, which this 1 minute here inverse, right, even though it may look nice, however, I was trading into bearish fair value gaps, which essentially, in my opinion, just didn't felt that very strong. Okay, yes, it was a PD array, blah blah, etc etc, but just felt that like it was in my trading plan. I just didn't like to see that there was a there is how you say there is a liquidity, there is like a how to say there is sort of some form of like uh I don't like to trade into a bearish the opposite fair value gap, which is like bearish. In this case, it's a bearish fair value gap if I'm buying. So that will reduce the chance of my trading setup, and it's not A plus. It will be an A plus setup. I want it to be I prefer it to be a much more clean setup, which essentially will be the it will be the best setup. Okay, because you don't have anything that sort of rejects it at that point of time. Okay, so that is just my opinion. So yes, you might say that, oh, you could take this trade crease, then you could have ended up in a win. True, I could have, but I could have lost as well. In this case, it worked out, but I'm not following my trading strategy if I were to take this trade, because I'm purely taking a trade into a bearish fair value gap. So what do I mean by that? In a sense, let's take a look, for example, here, right, this trade here, 1 minute. Okay, so it did inverse at 4 o'clock. Okay, then when we look at the 4 o'clock here, okay, 4 o'clock inverse this 2 minute, but still respecting this 2 minutes bearish fair value gap, 3 minute, still respecting this 3 minute bearish fair value gap. Okay, 4 minutes, I was still trading into a 4 minutes bearish fair value gap, at the same time a 5 minutes bearish fair value gap. So even though the 1 minute did sort of even though this 1 minute did sort of break here, okay, but I was trading into a higher time frame bearish fair value gap, which essentially, if you look at it at a higher time frame, it wouldn't be that nice of a trade, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like why would you trade into essentially a bearish fair value gap? You will just sort of, in my opinion, you're sort of just gambling at this point of time that, oh look, this trade is going to work out and stuff, right? So then next is that another trade, that this will be actually an awesome trade here, this area here. However, right, I didn't take it because there wasn't any bullish fair value gap, bearish fair value gap here to be inversed. So why would I say that this was a not bad of a trade here? Okay, sorry, let me take a look. Let's show you guys. So when I actually took this trade, when this trade was here, right, dollar was actually here, and when this low, which was here, right, was over here. So it was SMT here. Euro made higher high while dollar made a higher high. So that's SMT, and that in a sense should be medium bullish for Euro USD. Then price sort of inverse this 1 minute bearish fair value gap here, which very strong momentum here. And in this case here, you might say, oh my god, Chris, why didn't you take this trade here? You could have easily taken this trade and stuff. I could have. I was contemplating on taking this trade. However, I was saying to myself that this trade here, even if I were to take it, what would this trade sort of be? Okay, what would this trade sort of lack? So it will be a B setup, okay, because there was a lack of liquidity sweep. Yes, it is delivering from a fair value gap, but it did lack liquidity. Okay, was there a clear target? In my opinion, I guess you can say that accumulation, and this high here was the liquidity sweep. Okay, so that's the target. Was the singular fair value gap obvious? Yes, it was a singular fair value gap, but was it in a discounted was it in a discounted price area? I would personally say no, it isn't, because if it's discounted, price will be all the way here, but it wasn't in a discounted. Okay, was it in a 50% retracement? Let's take a look. Okay, was it in a 50% retracement? No, it didn't even hit the 50% retracement area. Then after it started to push higher here. So in a sense that this was actually more towards like a B setup, in my opinion. So that's why I didn't take that trade. Then when I actually look at the 2 minutes here, right, I saw this very nice 2 minute bearish fair value gap here that got inversed here. But then when you ask me, when I look back and say, hey, actually would I take this trade or not? Honestly, my honest opinion here, right, is that I don't think I would have taken this trade. Why? Because this this high, which is the accumulation high, got already swept. Okay, it got swept, which was here. Okay, this accumulation high already got swept here. Okay, so you are asking, but Chris, there is still liquidity at the top. True, there is still liquidity at the top that can be swept. It's not impossible for price not to be swept here. Okay, guys, that is not impossible for price to not be swept there. Okay, price can continue pushing higher, sure, no problem. So in this case, let's say for example I have to take this trade, right? Why would I say that this isn't going to be an amazing trade? Because, okay, number one, same concept as the earlier trade here, right? This 1 minute trade here, where did I miss? I think it was around here, right? Because it lacked some form of liquidity sweep. For me, I personally feel that whenever I take trades, right, I do like to wait for liquidity sweep. So some form of internal liquidity sweep or whatsoever kind of liquidity sweep, that will be my best, not best, but that will be the best opinion. That was sort of the best choice in my case. Okay, would that be like how you say, would that be 100% win rate if I sweep liquidity? No, not exactly. However, it has a higher chance of it being able to win when I sweep some little liquidity. So in this case, in 2 minutes here, right, this fair value gap here, did it sweep any form of liquidity? No, it did not. Okay, number one, it did not sweep any form of liquidity. Okay, yes, it is delivering from a fair value gap. That's good. There was momentum with no chop as well, as you guys can see. Instant reaction of, okay, it was an instant reaction, which was good. I never said that it was a bad trade, which was a good trade. Instant reaction, that was what I like. Targets are clear. I will say the target currently at now is this high here, which is the liquidity. That was the sort of the only form of liquidity here, as you guys can clearly see. Maybe you can say that, okay, this is not so maybe this is all this is liquidity as well, because this is a range here. Okay, this is a range here, so there is some form of liquidity at the top, but we do not know that whether is there liquidity there or not. For now, as what we can see is that the liquidity form is actually over here only, this high here. So yeah, so sorry, I was just looking at this chart. So in this case, in this scenario here, right, you might be asking me in a sense that, okay, so would I take this trade? I would say personally no, I would still not take this trade, even though what, because if you really go and think about it, right, this trade setup here, right, is this an A plus setup? Honestly, I don't think it is. It's more towards a B setup, because we're not in a premium discount. We're already halfway through the trade and stuff. So in my opinion, it isn't really the best trade. Okay, it is obvious, however, it's just a B setup. Okay, for this trade that I took here, right, okay, why did I take this trade here? Okay, so in my opinion, I would say that this is more towards an A setup. Okay, A to B plus setup, because, okay, number one, is there a liquidity sweep, or is it delivering from a fair value gap? Okay, so it didn't sweep liquidity, however, it was delivering from higher time frame fair value gaps. Okay, but at the same time, it did sweep liquidity previously, which was over here. So in trades setup, like sometimes in trades work out, right, I wouldn't say trade work out, but like when trades were to sort of play out, right, I would personally say that, like, you could look into, how you say, hold on, give me a second. So sorry, I was saying that in this case here, I already saw that this price set here, this liquidity, and from my backtesting and stuff, price tends most of the time, but not every single time, okay, it does, when it sweeps a liquidity already, it tends not to push lower again. However, if it does push lower, right, what does that tell us as traders, in the sense that, or me, in terms of internal, when I'm trading, right, that, oh, maybe there is even more form of liquidity below that I am failing to see. Okay, so I am failing to see that there's some form of liquidity that I'm missing out. Okay, and if I lose here, I just accept my mistake and move on. Okay, then then what's the next? Was there momentum with chop here? Okay, what do I mean by was there a momentum with chop? So was there any momentum here? There was clearly momentum here. Price was bouncing off Asian lows, and there was momentum sweeping through this double fair value gap with momentum. It didn't even chop around, didn't chop around. Then it started to break above. It immediately just broke above with very strong bullish momentum. Okay, so immediately we see that okay, this is very nice strong momentum. Okay, then its target clear. Well, it was in my opinion, because we have this high here, and Asian highs as well is definitely one target as well, as we know. Okay, so targets to my opinion is quite clear. Okay, it was the fair value gap singular. Well, I don't think it was. There was two fair value gaps here. Even if I bring down to the higher time frame here, right, there wasn't a singular fair value gap here. Even on the 2 minute, 3 minute, okay, 4 minute, or even the 5 minutes as well, there wasn't a single fair value gap, singular fair value gap. It was, however, two fair value gaps. Okay, so additionally, the reason why I will personally say that it is a B plus setup is because I wasn't trading into any form of like higher time frame fair value gap. So like not 5 minutes, not 3 minutes, not 2 minutes, not negative, whatever time frame fair value gap. I wasn't trading it. The next fair value gap that it was present was this fair value gap here, which it didn't even hit. Just saying, okay, it didn't hit that fair value gap, and then after that it just reversed. So it is what it is. I can't help it. So the only downside to this trade, I personally say it was a B plus setup. Okay, like I said, why? Okay, and I'm right now typing it down because the price was in a discounted range. Price is in a 4, 3, 2 hour, 30 minutes and 15 minutes bullish fair value gap. Price inverse 2 1 minute fair value gaps. However, it's not singular, and it's one of it is obvious, one of it is not that obvious. However, with it inversing both, I would say that I like to see that, in my opinion. Okay, so so I was like, okay, maybe if price inverse both, we have a nice confirmation. Then price sweep liquidity previously already, and as we know of that test, that if price already sweep liquidity, it technically should not go back down, but if it does, then means that there is liquidity below that we miss out as well, that we do not know, hence we accept it. And so next was that price pushed with momentum, big candle, stick. Next was that what? Okay, so next what is it? Okay, so number one, price was in a discounted range. Price is in the higher time frame bullish fair value gaps. Price inverse 2 1 minute bearish fair value gaps. Excuse me, sorry. So price sweep liquidity previously, and as we know, the backtest that if price already sweep liquidity, it technically should not go down. But if it does, means that there is some form of liquidity below that me missed as well, and do not know, hence we accept it and move on as a loss. So sure. Then next is that price pushed with momentum, big candlestick through the two bearish fair value gaps. Okay, and so that is the this is the 5 reasons why I would say that okay, maybe that is a B plus setup in my opinion. Okay, so the target in this case
Excuse me. No, this is actually a very nice trade if you were to take this pound trade. These buys above, stop loss below. You will close 50% once it hits a 1:1, and then price actually reverse there. Then this also another very nice trade. This okay, there is a fair value gap here, but it's not that obvious. But I wouldn't mind taking this trade as well. And stops below the low. Then this will be an awesome trade as well. We will have smashed your TP by now. So even if you don't think that was an awesome trade there, right? Maybe you can look at the 2 minutes. Okay. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe 1 minute here. I think this will be a nice trade too. Yeah, so I'm done. Okay, just looking at Euro. Taking a look at Euro right now, it's just chopping. So not taking any trade here.
Anyway, it's actually 5 p.m. already, so I'm not any trade. So I just only took this trade today and it's a loss, but my conviction was
okay. So what time ah? Then straight away go out man, mommy don't change or anything. Direct, go back now. You go to CityGate now, won't jam meh? Oh, only coming back right? So going there don't jam right? 10 more minutes ah, Yang. Mommy come back then we go.
So guys, I'm actually gonna end the stream here. I'm done for the day, as in like currently right now in London session. So I took a look out in London session, but I think overall it was okay. I don't think it was like a very 100% like bad trade or whatsoever. I think that honestly speaking, it was a trade that I wouldn't honestly. I don't think, even though all these trades here, like this trade here was nice, okay, this trade here was nice, this trade here was nice also, but I didn't take both trades. Pure reason in the sense that they doesn't fit my setup. Okay, even though yes, I know the draw on liquidity was towards the highs, I could have hit take profit. You know, I really wanted to take it, but then again, I was like, you know, as not, I feel like if it didn't hit your setup, you technically shouldn't be trading it. Okay, this is just my opinion. Okay, for me, you know, I think that even though in the past when I actually passed my funded, right, what I actually sort of lacked was that I was just taking trades that, you know, it didn't really hit criteria that hits trades, and now, you know, I'm taking trades that would hit all my criteria. So in this case, this trade here, right, what didn't play out, in my opinion, right, what I felt that didn't play out was actually this. I don't actually, in this case here, I wouldn't mind taking this trade. However, maybe what could have been improved was maybe this low here, right, actually getting swept first, because when it actually did this, right, when it actually sort of did this, right, okay, so something that I need to learn, okay, so something that I learned was that when I look back, maybe when price was here, okay, when price actually did this here, and then, okay, this is enough, no wonder this is so weird, this is not even for 1 minute. So when price actually did this here, as you guys can see, right, this here, right, it didn't do an SMT. Maybe let's say for example, if it did do an SMT, right, then I would have looked for a buy. So I think one thing that I sort of not regret, I'm learning, okay, I am learning, okay. So because when they did this, right, when it did this, it just barely missed it and then it pushed higher, right. I think that was a sort of a draw in liquidity. So what I mean by that, in the sense that it's just building up liquidity before falling down again. So that was the whole exactly why. So even though it had nice momentum, but that didn't work out because I feel that the draw on liquidity was just way below. It just purposely missed it, and you know, it just play out like that. And I think if that's the case, I wouldn't have taken any trades today. Was I upset about it? No, I'm not upset about it. Why the hell would I be upset? I'm not taking any trades. Even so, it doesn't matter to me, honestly speaking. As in, like, if you are upset on not taking any trades, then you are just purposely forcing a trade. In this case here, in my opinion, sorry. So maybe if you want this inverse here, right, I think this will be a nice trade. Stops above the highs, you know, something like that. Then take it here like that, but I won't take it now. I'm done for the day and done for London session. I'm done for London session already, so yeah, doesn't really matter. And plus this trade here, let's say for example if I take here, right, is way too low and it's going to be tapping the 4-minute bullish fair value gap very fast. So it's just right now it's just range bound at this point, so there's no point for taking any trades here. So I'm going to be done. I'm going to trade London session tonight, New York session tonight. So yeah, peace guys. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys like realize. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do one last thing here. So I'm actually gonna just do one last edit here to add into the group chat. Okay guys, I'm actually gonna end the stream here. See you guys